This is a special bonus video to talk about that WCW Nitro stage. It feels like the whole wrestling figure community's been talking about it. Not that I'd know, because I've been completely out the loop in the past couple of months. So, Piggy, you can talk about the how this was announced and what the reaction was to it, first of all.
So last week, Steve put out an announcement that on Monday, what date was Monday? On the 27th, that there would be an announcement. There would be an announcement to the next Crowdfunder. And then on Sunday night, he posted, have you ever seen that WCW Tie-Biz arena where it has the Nitro and then the weird scaffold thing? And then you can throw Sting onto the ring mat and it goes, ow, ow.
Yeah.
He basically posted that. And then on the Monday, he announced, we're doing a WCW stage. And I will run through the tiers because I remember the tiers so well. So if it gets the 5k backers and you back it between March 29th and April 7th, so next Friday, between Wednesday, the last Wednesday just gone by as we're recording this, and next Friday, so Good Friday, you will get Hulk Hogan in his WCW debut, and you will get Rey Mysterio, not on maskless Rey because he's a different person. And then if it gets to 7, I'll actually have to make sure I'm saying this right. I think if you get to 7k backers, you unlock DDP. Yeah, at 7k backers, you unlock DDP. At 9k backers, you unlock Scott Steiner, the big bad booty daddy. And at 11k backers, you unlock. You remember the 5-star classics the Ultimate Warrior had, don't you? In WCW,
of course.
Against Benoit, Bret Hart, Chris Rock. I'm trying to think of other celebrities. Dennis Rodman. You know, the 5-star classics Ultimate Warrior had,
of course.
WCW. So yeah, at 11k backers, you unlock Ultimate Warrior. And the stage is $400. This has divided wrestling fans because, and I agree with most of them, why is Hogan, Warrior, and people say Ray, but I don't mind Ray. Why are Hogan and Warrior a part of this? Especially since this is really waka waka hey, waka 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 hey hey. Hogan, like, this is tanned. He's American. Yeah, he's American.
American made. Yeah. I have loads of thoughts on that. So first of all, you've already got a Hulk Hogan Ultimate Edition based on his WCW run, don't we?
Technically, no.
Oh really? Was that like 93 Hogan, is it?
That's WrestleMania 9 Hogan.
Yeah, so it's awfully close. It's awfully close already. And, you know, but in fairness, I don't think they could do a WCW set without having Hulk Hogan involved. Do you know what I mean? So I get it from that point of view. And if they're going to pick one, they're going to have to pick one that, because they've already done an NWO Hollywood one, so I get it. But yeah, so that I can understand the justification for that. The Ultimate Warrior one, again, is a bit weird, but I suppose they need like a big name to sell it. So, you know, that you've got that, and I suppose they haven't. But it feels like an odd choice for your last tier to have him in the jeans, you know. But again, DDP, I quite appreciate them having him in an Ultimate Edition, even though we've got a figure of him already, but Ultimate Edition would be pretty cool. And likewise with the Rey Mysterio, like you said, I think the Rey in that attire is cool. And my positives as well, Scott Steiner, oh, absolutely, that is the main selling point for me, love it. The Scott Steiner is the one piece of this that I love. But yeah, in terms of like the price point, yes. Geez, I cannot afford that. I don't know about you. I mean, you've backed this, yeah?
So side note for people, I'm going to big up On Post here. On Post is a delivery service in Ireland. Now, I have a friend called FWF Pickfed, or Luke. I'm not going to dox his last name, so we'll just call him Luke. And basically, I asked him, could he back this for me and I'll pay the installments? Because I wasn't going to pay up to 700, 800 euro for this set because of import tax and shipping and customs. You know, it's like eating out Taco Bell. It's just fiery diarrhea after diarrhea. Like, so basically how I went about it is I'm paying in installments. So if it succeeds, then obviously I will be paying all the installments. If it fails, I get the money back. So yeah, I'm paying in installments. I'm mainly getting it for Scott Steiner. I don't really care for WCW. People know my feelings on WCW. And my one thing that I don't like is the fact that you don't have the main guy of WCW. The heart and soul of WCW is not in it.
Sting?
Yeah, Sting.
Yeah.
I understand they can't get Sting for obvious reasons, but surely you could have signed him to a one-off contract.
Yeah, you'd think so. Especially because he's about to retire soon. So, you know, the opportunity will be there. I suppose it's quite impatient, but I guess if you're working on it, you know, you're working on it. But, yeah, Sting, no Flair either, which is quite weird to think as well. And, yeah, like, there's a lot of different people that you could have used. I get why they use the people they've got because they've got them under contract, but still. And also online, are people kind of disappointed that it's just the stage and not like a ring or anything?
People are like, for $400, it should be a ring as well. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, no. Because if you were supposed to get a ring with this, bloody head, that means then we have the new gen ring, we have the Attitude Era ring with Mr. I don't give a crap about your rights, Kane, and then we would have had the WCW stage with a ring. And I was like, no.
That's
I'd rather
fair.
take 5 Ultimates over a ring.
Yeah, actually, though, that's true. But, however, being that there is an Attitude Era ring out there released, could you not maybe, in this crowdfunder, include, like, ring skirts and ring customization options for ringside? Do you know what I mean? Because that wouldn't take up too much space, and I feel like it wouldn't be that much of an extra cost to them.
I understand that. My one gripe is not the WCW stage I remember. I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember the 2000 stage where it was just the big logo?
Oh, I love that stage. I mean, it's not popular.
I wish it was that.
It's not popular, but I love that stage so much.
I wish it was that stage. I understand they want to go with
it's not marketable. It's not marketable, but I would buy that stage over this one. Just personal preference. As silly as it sounds, I know it's not as iconic and it's not as good, but I still love it. You know.
Maybe we'll get that stage, but I think for the first stage, because I'm not counting the new gen stage, since that was a set.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
as the first main stage, I think they should have went with a fan catered one, because people would rather the SmackDown Fist.
Oh, absolutely. The SmackDown Fist would have been the one to get. I think they wanted to choose one that you could have. I think they chose the Nitro one because they want to show off their lights and stuff and charge a ton of money for, and then justify it by saying, oh, but it's because of all the lights. I think they would have had it. I would have been more inclined to buy the crowdfunder if it was a SmackDown Fist stage, even at £500. But again, it's personal preference. Like, the people buying it might disagree, so it's their money. Like, I'm not going to tell people how to spend it, but yeah, that's the main thing with me. I'm completely out of the figure not completely out of the figure game. You know, I want to return to NLW at some point, obviously, but like, in terms of buying new figures and buying the up-to-date stuff, doesn't grasp me as much as it did before, mainly because I don't have the space, and mainly because I've already shilled all my money for that new gen set, which I have gotten a lot of use out of, to be fair, and I'm glad that I did purchase that crowdfunder. But the thing about that was £180, and you got 3 figures, a ring, and I know it's not really a stage, but you know what I mean. It's like a light up thing. You know, I get that it's going to be more expensive to make this Nitro set, but I don't know. I feel like to be fair, if you're going to buy it, if you want to buy it, then that's up to you. But I personally am not sold on it. But yeah, that's just my opinion. So was it literally the Scott Steiner that did it for you then?
It was Scott Steiner and DDP and somewhat of Rey Mysterio. Again, I don't really care about the racist hot dog man, and I don't really care about the homophobic man, but it was mainly Steiner, DDP, and Mysterio. There could have been some other guys, like you could have included Eddie Guerrero with the WCW Cruiserweight title.
Eddie Guerrero, that would have been a perfect one to include. Yeah.
Like, instead of Warrior, you could have included Eddie Guerrero. How I think they should have done it is had Ray in his Halloween Havoc 97 gear. I understand people are going to go, well, that was already made. DDP literally has a gear that was in elite form, so calm down. But it should have been Ray in the Halloween Havoc 97 gear and Eddie in the Halloween Havoc 97 gear. So you unlock Ray at 5k and Eddie at 11.
Yeah, that's true. And I know he's not associated with WCW, but Brett even, maybe? I don't know.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if for one of the tiers you unlock the Hitman Bret Hart from the actual WCW line?
Oh. Or even Bret Hart in his day. Because you've got Warrior in his promo attire. Maybe even Bret Hart in his like debut attire with the jacket and the jeans and everything.
Oh.
But again...
With his reverse WWF theme, like.
Oh, that was horrible. Yeah. But the fact that... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're not under contract anyway, but... Yeah, there's better choices they could have made. But again, I heard people complaining about the new gen set, and then everybody ended up backing that, didn't they? So, but I will say, I think the new gen set was better value for money. I forgot even that they had like an announcers pack too. So that came with that too. Like with this Nitro set, you could include a Nitro set. And again, I'm just a fan. Like I'm a consumer. I'm not saying that they've got it wrong because that would be, I have no idea about the intricacies of making and manufacturing, but again, if you're charging so much money, I feel like you should be under a bit of scrutiny, you know?
I feel like they might have to add a sixth figure to this to complete it.
They will. Do you reckon that they'll probably back down and add something else?
They might, because it's unjustifiable, because it's basically an American exclusive. It's unjustifiable to pay £800, about £700 for this.
Yeah.
Compared to you only had to roughly pay $400 for the new gen with tax and shipping.
You know, tax and shipping for the new gen wasn't actually that bad, to be fair. Like, I know on the Mattel Creations website, the shipping wasn't too bad. However, I will say as well that I managed to get 2 new gen sets for 350 odd pounds, and I sold one off to W3A, so I managed to get that money back anyway, and a bit, just a bit more for the hassle of it, but not loads. And even that was, that was still like a big decision for me to make, was to buy 2 of those sets. So you could get 2 of those, and one of these is more expensive than 2 of the new gen. So I don't quite get the price point, but that's just me. I'm very skeptical. I think I'm not saying that it's a bad design either. Like, I think it looks incredible, and I would love, like, that would be a dream to have it. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like they're trying to push the limits to see how much people are willing to spend, and that's why, I understand that, inflation and everything, prices going up, but do you reckon they're taking the piss?
They must be, because I will give this up now, right? Because Mac Decals and someone else, who else posted this? Mac Decals and CMW Toys posted this. So basically, Mark Anthony XIII 3 Eyes said, with the cost of the WCW Nitro set for outside the US, does this include any custom charges or handling fees, etc., etc.? As $217 over the price that the US collectors are paying is a bit unfair, especially since there is a lot of WWE figure fan base in the UK and around the world. If they are included, which explains the price hike, is there not any way you can just charge anyone outside the added fees? Charge everyone the $400 and let us outside the US deal with import fees and handling fees, etc. when they are dispatched next year. I feel doing this, I see a boost in the backing of this item and may possibly sway many of the outside of the US to back it more than they are at this moment. And then Steve replied, I believe the VARINCE on top of the exchange rate is a shipping surcharge that's dependent on the country to the account for those increased costs. They should be adding something to the frequently asked questions on the site with more specific info. So, Steve basically saying that, fuck you guys, back it.
Yeah, but your questions are valid, but maybe just buy it. Maybe just buy it and see what happens, yeah? They're trying to make money at the end of the day. It's not, I'm not complaining about that necessarily. I'm just saying, maybe it's trying to push the limits to see how much wrestling figure fans are willing to spend on, because they managed to get their 8,000 backers for the new gen set, and they must have been, I don't want to say shocked that it worked, but I'm not saying it was a bad set either. I've gotten my use out of it, but the fact that it's just so much of an increase from the last one, and on paper it's not a lot. Is that a controversial opinion?
No.
5 toys. I appreciate that. They're good toys, but you think what? I'm thinking of a maximum. Yeah, a maximum. You're talking £50 per figure, right? Or $50, whatever. That's only 250. So then you're justifying like 250 odd for the Nitro stage. It just doesn't really add up for me.
Yeah, understand that, because an ultimate is 34. The 30 to $34. I know I had to pay for the Rey Mysterio Ultimate Edition of the WCW one, the Ruthless Aggression one. That came to about $42. So, they're talking about $42 per Ultimate. The only downside I see this, if it fails, I don't see them making another Scott Steiner till, not this year, till the end of next year.
You've got maybe till the end of next year, but you've got the concept. Just release the figure. I understand, they want to create a sense of scarcity. That's also something I hate about figure collecting now, is everything has to be a competition. You have to get this rare figure, or this rare chase, and not really just appreciate that it's a good figure. You want to keep it boxed up, which I understand, but again, it's, I don't know, I'm bringing my own personal takes into it, but I think that's all we've really got to say on it. What other thing, have you got anything else to add?
Just a side note, if this project succeeds, expect next year, because this is where I will be buying Fergs Scott Steiner. I am buying him the Scott Steiner if it succeeds. I would want, now he does charge about $100 to $120, maybe $150, but it is justifiable because he's not stealing them from a factory. He knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a pal who knows another pal who knows a dog. Basically, if you want to get these figures, they might be a bit expensive, or you just want to get the stage, head over to KWK .shop. I think it's KWK.shop. It might be just KWKshop.com. This is where I rebought my Dunk the Clown, because I sold my Dunk and I rebought it. This is where I bought my Hogan and Zeus. So you can expect them to get not only the San Diego Comic-Con figures this year, but you can also expect them next year, if this project succeeds, to get the Scott Steiner, the DDP, the Rey Mysterio, the Warrior, and the Hogan. So, shout out KWK.
Shout us out, and fingers crossed we get a SmackDown stage which isn't as expensive, but it will be. They'll probably be charging $1,000 next year, and then I'm already poor as it is. I don't need any more expenses on my books, but we'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, back it or don't back it. It's up to you, really. If you enjoy Nitro, don't feel pressured into buying it. That's the only thing I would say. But also don't feel pressured into not buying it, because people are telling you it's a bad investment. If you like it, then go for it. If you're not into it and you can't afford it, don't worry about it. There's going to be plenty of other things to buy in the future. But yeah, that's it from me and Pigs. We will see you next time.